Good morning class, Sairam. Today we will start our remaining topics of chapter 14, that is semiconductor, and the first topic that we will understand, that is p-n junction. What is a p-n junction? So here you can understand that when we connect a p-type semiconductor and we brought this in close contact with n-type semiconductor, then p-n junction is formed. Here in diagram you can see that we have one p-type semiconductor. Okay, in p-type the majority charge carriers are whole, and these holes are basically due to the impurity that we have added, that was trivalent elements. And after that, here we have n-type semiconductor. In n-type semiconductor, these black color dots, you can understand these are representing electrons. Okay, because in n-type semiconductor we have added pentavalent impurity. So after that, what happens in this particular region, some holes, some electron from the right side or from n-type semiconductor, they goes towards these holes which are situated in p-type semiconductor, and they fuse together, means they mix together, and due to which here, if your electron is embedded in this hole, we will say some negative ion will be formed because it has accepted one electron, and here from where electron has left, there we will have some positive ions. Okay, so positive, fixed positive ions will be located over here. So that's why it is represented by positive, and here we have negative. So after that, what we can see that due to positive and negative immobile ion, means which those ion which cannot move, due to formation these immobile ion, we can see some potential difference will develop over here. Okay, so this is called, this particular dot this area is called your p-n junction, and the potential that is formed over here, that is called barrier potential. The barrier potential or current in this particular barrier can be given by following expression. This Kb or Boltzmann constant Kb equal to I naught. I naught is the reverse saturation current, and e raised to the power Eb upon Kbt, and minus 1. So here you can understand some terms related to this. That first thing is that depletion layer. What is depletion layer? At p-n junction, the junction region is created where there is no charge carrier. Basically, in the previous diagram you can say that this particular layer, this layer from here to here, this is your depletion layer, and in this depletion layer there is no charge carriers. This region is called depletion layer. The width of this region is of the order of 10 to the power 6 meter. After that, we have potential barrier, and potential barrier, as I already told you, this is the potential difference across the depletion layer, and this barrier potential is different for different semiconductor. Like for germanium it is 0.3 volt, and for silicon it is 0.7 volt. After that, we have one term that is called forward biasing. Okay, forward biasing means if we connect our p side with the battery with positive terminal and n side of the semiconductor with negative terminal of a battery, then such types of connection are called forward biasing. In this biasing, forward current flows due to majority charge carriers. Okay, and majority means in p side you can say that majority charge carriers are holes, and in n-type semiconductor the charge carrier due to which current will flow, that majority charge carriers are electrons. Okay, however, in for minority you can consider some electron over here, and in n-type also you can consider one or two holes are present like this. I mean to say there are very lesser number of holes which are called minority charge carriers. Then we have reverse biasing. Reverse biasing means what? In this biasing, p side is connected to the negative terminal, and n side is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. So in this biasing, reverse biasing, the current is flown or current flows due to the minority charge carriers. Okay, after that we have one point, that is the width of the depletion layer increases in reverse biasing. That width of depletion layer will increase. means more amount of fusion will take place between holes and electrons. And then we have some common applications like a PN junction diode can be utilized as a rectifier, and then we have Zener diode, photodiode, etc. And like light emitting diode, which you called it often you called it LED also, etc. are specially designed PN junction diodes. Then here we can represent PN junction diode in symbolic form, where PN junction diode means two electrode. Okay, so first of all we will have P type of electrode or P type semiconductor, then N type semiconductor, and this symbol is used for diode. Okay, this triangular base part of triangle represents P, and this corner part represents what? That represents your N terminal. After that we have few terms like the maximum voltage that a junction diode can bear without break is called Zener voltage, and junction diode possessing this voltage is known as Zener diode. Some characteristics are also given for forward bias. Here we have voltage versus current values, and in forward bias this current will keep on increasing, and for forward bias this will be like this. At a particular value we will just reach to the reverse saturation current, and at this point Zener breakdown will occur. Okay, then this current increases rapidly, and resistance of the diode can be given as change in voltage upon change in current. Then we have some special types of diode, or you can say that diode is used as a rectifier. So rectifier is what? A device which convert your alternating current or alternating voltage into direct current. Okay, that is known as what? That is known as your rectifier. And this process of converting AC into DC, and this is called what? This is called rectification. Then we have half wave rectifier. Half wave rectifier is what? It converts the half cycle of the applied AC into DC signal, and ordinary or transformer may be used. And what we have in this condition, in this situation, we have one transformer like primary coil and secondary coil, and this is soft iron. And here in primary coil we have supplied some AC power. So we know that at output we generally get our AC power with higher or lower voltage according to its type, whether it is a step up transformer or a step down transformer. So here we just connect one PN junction diode. Okay, so when your S1 has positive nature and S2 is negative, in that case your current will flow from your P type to N type. Okay, but when your alternating current changes, or you can say that here we have negative, and in that case your P becomes connected by negative terminal and N becomes connected with positive terminal. In that case this diode can be treated as reverse bias, and in reverse condition this diode doesn't work, means we will not get any particular output voltage over here. Okay, for reverse biasing of diode. So you can see that your alternating voltage or alternating current, for the first positive cycle we will get output, but for negative cycle we will not get any kind of output over here. Okay, we will not obtain. Then again for the next positive terminal we will get output, because in positive terminal your diode will work, and in negative terminal, in reverse direction, reverse bias condition, your diode will not work. So we are getting our voltage or current that is in one direction only, or we can say this is what? This is unidirectional. Okay, so in this way we have converted our AC to DC, AC voltage to DC voltage, or AC current to DC current. Then we have full wave rectifier. In full wave rectifier we generally have two diode. Okay, one is D1 diode D1, and second is diode D2. And process is same, that in first half cycle your D1 will work, it will work, and D2 will not work, but we will get some output voltage across R. Then in second case, when your S1 will become negative, here you can see that S1 has become negative and S2 has become positive. In that case, your D2 will work and D1 will not work because it will be in reverse bias. Your P will be connected with negative, and but still we will get some output voltage across R. Okay, so here you can see that for positive half cycle we are getting our output voltage, and which is due to what? Due to D1, diode 1. And for negative half cycle we are getting our positive voltage or current, and this is due to diode 2. Okay, it means to say that at every condition we are getting output voltage across our load resistance. Then this section has been removed from your syllabus, that types of transistor, PNP or NPN. So we will now look for the topic, that is LED, light emitting diode. So light emitting diode is what? That is a forward bias PN junction diode, and it emits the light when recombination of electron and holes takes place. Means when your electron will combine with hole, in that case light will be emitted. Basically your electron will jump from higher state, energy state, to lower energy state, so it will emit energy in form of light. So if the semiconductor material of PN junction is transparent to light, the light is emitted and junction becomes a light source. That is called LED or light emitting diode. Our color is also given over here. For gallium arsenide we get infrared radiation, and again for gallium and you can say phosphide we get red or green color. So different colors of LED are given according to the material choice. Then again these sections has been removed for this year, or logic gate, truth table, etc. These are not in your syllabus. Okay, then next thing we have, that is photodiode. And photodiode is what? It is a special purpose PN junction diode, and that is fabricated with transparent window to allow light to fall on the diode. Here we have one transparent window and this light fall on the diode. Basically it is you can say reverse biased, or P side is connected with negative terminal and N side is connected with positive terminal. So if we look for current versus voltage characteristics or VI characteristic, then we can say that it works only on reverse bias condition. So these are some reverse saturated current, and current we got that is in micro ampere. And here you can understand that when the photodiode is illuminated with light, okay, and those having energy h nu greater than the energy gap of the semiconductor, then electron hole pair are generated due to absorption of photon. The diode is fabricated in such a way that the generation of electron hole pair takes place in or near the depletion region of the diode. Due to the electric field of the junction, electrons and holes are separated before they recombine. You can understand like photoelectric effect. Here we also see that some electrons are generated, okay, like in photoelectric effect electrons are generated. Here also electron will be generated due to absorption of this light, and some hole pairs will also be generated. Like if electron will leave its place, then at that point cavity will be created, that is hole. So due to the electric field which is already present over here due to barrier potential, your electron will reach to the N side. Okay, more number of electron will reach towards the N side because your electron will move opposite to the direction of electric field, and here more amount of hole will reach towards the P side. Okay, here you can understand that direction of electric field is such that the electron reach to the N side and hole will reach to the P side. Now electrons are collected on the N side and holes are collected toward the P side, and which will again increase its EMF, you can say. So when external load is connected, here we will connect our external load. Okay, in that condition we can say that current will flow in the circuit. Okay, and the magnitude of the photocurrent means that current that is due to electron, but those electron are due to photon, okay, due to sunlight. Okay, so that will depend upon the intensity of the light. we know that more amount of intensity means more amount of current, that is directly proportional to the intensity. So now it is easy now to control our device. If we change our light intensity, then our current will change. So in reverse bias, if reverse bias is applied over here, okay, in that case this photodiode can be used as a optical signal. So these are characteristic of your current versus photon. Here you can see that for particular intensity, your intensity is more, then in that case your reverse saturation current, that is also more. Okay, lesser will be the intensity, lesser number of photon will fall on the plate, so lesser will be current. After that we have next topic, solar cell. Okay, so in solar cell you can understand, first see the diagram. Here we have one metallized finger electrode. Okay, this shape like a finger, or we can call it finger electrode. This is basically your metal, and first of all we have one p type layer, okay, and then we have n type semiconductor and its layer over p type semiconductor. Then we have some back contact, you can say p type silicon, that is about having this layer having 300 micrometer length, and your n type semiconductor that will have your thickness of 0.3 micrometer, okay, and they are combined together. Now light is allowed to fall on this particular surface of the n side, and you know that in n side we have majority carriers, charge carriers, so more electron hole pair will be generated over here. And this top surface has only area, metal has only area less than 15% of total area, so that our light can incident on whole diode or n type semiconductor for generation of electron hole pair. So here it is saying that if generation of EMF, we want to generate EMF due to solar cell, okay, then light will fall on it, and due to which generation of electron hole pair will take place, okay, if your h nu is greater than energy gap. Energy gap means that energy which is required to reach the electron from valence band to conduction band. After that, for the second point, we can understand that separation of electron and holes will occur due to electric field of the depletion region, and that will be, this depletion region basically will be developed due to fusion of electrons and holes, and electrons are swept to the n side while holes will be shifted towards the p side. Third point is that the electron reaching towards the n side are collected the front contact, and the holes reaching towards the p side are collected by the back contact. The holes will be collected over here, okay, and electron will be generated, they will come to the conduction band of that n type semiconductor. Thus we can say that the p side becomes positive and n side will become negative, giving rising to the photovoltage. Now we will apply the external load. External load means we will apply some external resistance, okay, for which we will try to get our photocurrent. So photocurrent will flow through a load. Direction of current, you can say that load current will be from your direction of holes basically, and which are collected toward the p region. So due to the flow of hole, we can say our direction of current will be decided. And then VI characteristic are given over here, that current versus voltage graph mentioned over here. So this is all for today. Thank you. Sai Ram.